Hi, everyone. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of one of the models that certainly Mark will be speaking to in his overview of his case study of the changing strategy and changing structures and rules at Brock University, which is the Galbraith STAR model. You may or may not be familiar with it. Many people are not familiar with it. And once I introduce it, there's a document, an article on it that is attached in the post for the prep for this week. But if you don't get time to have a look at it, hopefully this will give you an idea about it. Galbraith is just very practical in terms of how if you change one thing, everything else in the organization has to be changed. So here we go, just a little quick overview here. I just want to give this, it's called the STAR model because obviously it looks like a star, but what Galbraith says is that, and this is very true for most organizations that I've worked with, that we change our strategy, usually, of course, because things in the environment are changing and we must adapt to that. So we change the direction in which the organization is headed for the organization to continue to be sustainable and successful. Good heavens, I'm having trouble today. I added something to the STAR model, which is to put services or user engagement right in the middle of it. But when you have a new strategy coming along, obviously, you are looking at your services. How do your services need to be aligned, bringing forth and realizing your strategy? The other things are, of course, the structure. How is your organization to be structured, meaning reporting relationships? Also, if you change your structure and you change your services, you obviously need to be changing the roles, and that's the people. So what kind of roles do you really need to carry out those types of services, carry out the infrastructure for those services, the finance, the IT, the HR, the facilities, all the logistics and the operations? What kind of skills and approaches do you need for those roles? Oh, then it's not just roles that we need. It's how are people rewarded? Yes, that's a compensation system, which some of you may go, well, we don't have any control over that. That's not true. We can look at our compensation system and how we reward people. We reward people with the chairs that we give them. We reward people with the space that we give them, with the hours that we allow them to work, hybrid working relationships, all of those types of things, how people are acknowledged for the work that they are undertaking. We know in the information sphere, not just libraries, within the information sphere and the services structure, which is services sphere, which also includes anything in academia, public sector, etc. People usually come into this type of work because they are rewarded by what they get from helping people. Even in IT and finance, there is some reason that people are working in an academic or a public sector, and it is not all about the money. And of course, over here are the processes. So how are the processes changing? The processes usually start to change first, I have to tell you. Usually when I teach this, there's a big arrow coming in that bumps into this. And that's because as technology changes, it changes our workflows. It changes how we do things. It changes how things happen. And as soon as those processes start to change, we change the types of skills that we need. We change how people are working together, how they are reporting, how they are structured to be in a collaborative work environment. And of course, then too, it impacts the services. So this really is the STAR model that the article talks about and that Mark will use as a basis, because anybody that I've done any organizational work with, I use this model because it says it's not just about changing the strategy. It's not just about bringing in new devices, new ways of working, new or even old. Oh. I'll just stop sharing there. There you go. Look forward to seeing you on Friday. The other thing that I want you to keep in mind is, and I hope you kept listening, is that budget is strategy. So not only are we going to be looking at we're going to be continuing on from Scott's session on managing change, but that as soon as you have a new strategy and you need a new structure and you need new rules and new skills, you need to realign your budget. Budget is strategy. We cannot have new strategies, cannot have new structures if we don't also realign the budget to be in line with that. Okay? See you on Friday.